When I was asked to do the launch of the app, it sort of made me feel like, the Queen of the Netherlands, who cuts a lot of ribbons or throws nice bottles of champagne on ships and thereby launches them into sea. But actually, I think this is much more important. If you look at Zimbabwe and you look at the constitution, to me, that is the #1 way by which the people of Zimbabwe expressed their aspirations for their country. They came out and voted. They voted in favor, I think, at a rate of 90% or more, to embrace this constitution and all the rights that are contained within. This is what the people of this country want. However, the constitution was voted on in March 2013, and I actually, because I'm also on Twitter, I just saw a few tweets about the omnibus bill and about a report that has been written by the Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights about this bill, and it actually said that a lot of the provisions that are now in the omnibus bill do not correctly translate legislation if you look at the Constitution. So I have to say that I'm a little worried, and that I really hope, that the government will apply itself, will really push very hard to make these aspirations that the people have expressed a reality, and that they will push forward with the implementation of the Constitution, and will push forward with this concept of constitutionalism, because it's not just about the laws. They're very important, they need to be done, but it's also about this idea, where people really see the Constitution as the supreme law of the land, they treat it as the supreme law of the land, they follow it. And I think this app will be very important, because the first thing, of course, that you need to do is to know your rights. Because if you don't know what your rights are, how can you demand them? And via this app, and via other ways of social media, we can also express ourselves, as a community, and exchange. For instance, a lot of the ministers, cabinet ministers, are on Twitter. So if you have this app, and you can use this app also on Twitter, you can tweet to them, and you can say, @Professor Jonathan Moyo, I have just noticed that, in the Constitution it says I have the right to water, I have the right to shelter, I have the right to life. Yet, look at my situation here in my rural area, where things are not happening. Look at, I'll take a picture and I'll show it to you. And, because it's public, other people can join in this important debate. And I think that will really help. And like you said, the penetration of mobile devices, it's growing and growing, and more people are on the internet, are using social media. So I am so happy that this app is here. Now for myself, I have to wait until I've recharged my Samsung, because when I joined the embassy here, they gave me an iPhone, which is still not really my thing. I have to say that I'm an Android girl myself. But I will indeed recharge, especially to access this app, because I think it's really important. I was looking at my watch, and at this exact moment while I'm speaking to you here, my daughter, she's at school and she's giving a TED Talk. I don't know if you guys have ever seen TED Talks on human rights, because at her school they're actually doing a project on human rights, and I had the wonderful experience to go and talk to her class last week. And there were all these children, and they had all been talking about human rights for a couple of weeks and exploring them and talking to different people and reading about it and going online, and they asked me things. I was just so amazed, and I thought, this is where it begins. If you have 11 years old and 12-year-old children who are already getting to know their rights, and who are asking grown-ups, yeah, but what about my right as a child? I have the right to education, I have the right to shelter, I have the right to security. And you have children that are now getting onto boats and are drowning in the Mediterranean. What are you doing, international community? about this, you know, I thought this is where it starts. So I'm really happy to be talking about this subject at the same time as my daughter, and I really hope that all of you will share, you know, what you have learned today and share the app with all, you know, your peers, but also with the generation even younger than you, because I see quite a number of young faces. So that we can get this thing really going. And I think I've said all that I wanted to say. So if I can sort of cut the ribbon and declare the app officially launched, and express the hope that it will be used by many, many people here in Zimbabwe. Thank you so much.
Sorry, maybe you two would love. I thought I'm thinking about it now for myself as a journalist. Some guys might want some photos of you officially cutting the ribbon. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.